You have been lied to. They told you the world rewards the good, the patient, the nice. They told you fairness is a law of nature, that if you just keep your head down, you'll get what you deserve. Look around you. Do you see justice running the world? Or do you see the ruthless taking what they want, while the timid beg for scraps? Nietzsche understood what most men cannot bear to face. The universe does not care about your comfort, your feelings, or your fragile sense of fairness. It bends to will, and only to will. Power is not granted. It is seized, not through luck, not through permission, but through the relentless application of strength, cunning, and endurance. This is why the masses fear men who stand outside the herd, because they are living proof that the rules are illusions, that the limits are only there for those who accept them. And you have been accepting them. You've let other people define what's possible for you. You've been living inside frames they built, obeying limits they invented, fighting battles they chose for you. You've traded your birthright, the right to shape your own fate, for the false safety of obedience. Understand this. The world is not a playground. It is an arena. And every day, whether you admit it or not, you are being tested. The test is not whether you can avoid conflict. The test is whether you can stand in the fire and make it burn for you, not against you. These 5 laws are not self-help slogans. They are weapons. They are the kind of truths that, once heard, will make it impossible to ever see the world the same way again. Nietzsche didn't write for the weak. He wrote for the man who feels the iron in his spine when he hears the call to rise. So here is your choice. You can stop now, retreat back into the comfortable lies that keep you harmless and invisible. Or you can step forward, strip away the illusions, and learn the laws that make men dangerous, the laws they will never teach you in school. Because if you refuse to learn them, you will serve a man who has. The world doesn't care about your dreams. It won't make space for your ambitions. It will grind you down and swallow you whole, unless you force it to do otherwise. Nietzsche didn't romanticize life. He saw it for what it is, a battlefield of competing wills. The weak tell themselves comforting myths about fairness, destiny, and divine intervention. The strong don't wait for fate. They create it. Willpower is not about positive thinking. It is the raw, unrelenting decision to bend reality until it serves you. It's the refusal to submit to the weight of circumstance. And here is the truth you don't want to hear. Most people lose before they ever fight, not because the enemy was stronger, but because they asked for permission to exist. They waited for the perfect timing. They tried to win without making anyone uncomfortable. They confused passivity with patience and compromise with wisdom. By the time they realized they were in a war, they had already been conquered. Look at your own life. Where have you surrendered without even realizing it? Is it in your career, letting others decide your value? Is it in relationships, tolerating disrespect to keep the peace? Is it in your mind, believing the inner voice that says you can't? Understand this. To bend the world to your will, you must do 3 things. 1. Earn the exit routes. Commit so completely that retreat is no longer an option. 2. Speak as if you command the outcome. Not with arrogance, but with the weight of a man who has already decided the result. 3. Outlast them. Most people quit when the fight stops being exciting. That's when you start pressing harder. Every man has 2 choices: shape the world or be shaped by it. If you refuse to impose your will, someone else will impose theirs on you. And they won't be kinder, smarter, or more deserving, just more willing to do or too afraid to. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Seize the damn moment you have. Because in the arena of life, hesitation is not caution. It's surrender. Battles are not always won by strength or numbers. They are won by the man who decides what the fight is about. He who controls the frame controls the battlefield without firing a shot. Nietzsche understood that truth is often just the loudest voice with the most conviction. The masses don't think. They adopt the frames handed to them by the bold and the cunning. A frame is the mental battlefield, the set of assumptions, definitions, and perspectives that decide how reality will be interpreted. If you let someone else define the terms, you've already lost before you begin. In politics, in business, in relationships, the first move is not action. It is framing. The politician who controls the language controls the votes. The negotiator who defines the problem controls the solution. The man who refrains an attack as proof of his strength turns his enemies into unpaid advertisers. Look at your own life. Where are you letting someone else dictate the story? At work, do they frame you as lucky to be here instead of critical to the mission? In relationships, do they define you as easygoing because you don't draw hard boundaries? In your own mind, have you accepted labels that make you small? To command the frame, you must 1. Refuse unearned questions. You are not obligated to answer what weakens your position. Redirect or redefine it. 2. Turn every strike into proof of your strength. If they call you ruthless, make it sound like a compliment. 3. Set your own scoreboard. Never measure your worth by their metrics. Create the standards they have to chase. When you own the frame, you can lose the skirmish and still win the war. When you surrender it, you can win an argument and still end up the loser. Remember, the first to define the terms decides the truth. Stop playing inside their walls and start building your own battlefield. Because if you let them write the script, you are not the main character. You are an extra in someone else's story. What does not kill me makes me stronger. You've heard it. You've repeated it. But most of you have lied to yourselves when you said it. Because pain doesn't make you stronger by default. Pain destroys the weak and forges only the willing. Nietzsche never meant that hardship magically transforms you. He meant it is raw material, and raw material is worthless unless you work it. Most people waste their suffering. They use it to justify why they can't, instead of proving why they must. The man who survives without transformation is not stronger. He is simply a broken version of his former self, carrying wounds that rot instead of sharpen. Your failures, betrayals, humiliations, they can be chains or blades. A chain binds you to the moment you lost. A blade cuts through every obstacle because you've already bled, and you know you can bleed again without breaking. You have a choice right now. When you were betrayed, did you study it until you could see the pattern? Or did you just swear you would never trust again? When you failed, did you pick apart every mistake until you could win next time? Or did you tell yourself the game was rigged? When life knocked you down, did you build armor where you were hit? Or did you cover the wound and hope it healed by itself? To forge your wounds into weapons. 1. Study the damage. Do not hide from the details of your loss. Dissect it until you know exactly where the blade goes next time. 2. Train with the weight of your scars. Let them remind you that you can carry pain without stopping. 3. Make your enemies regret they ever touched you. Their attack becomes the reason you outlast and outrank them. Most men live as victims of their past. The warrior turns the past into his arsenal. The next time you remember the moment you broke, don't cry over it. Smirk, because that was the day you started stockpiling weapons the enemy can't see. The world will hit you again. It's coming. You can be the man who flinches, or the man who makes the world wish it hadn't missed the first time. If you stand tall long enough, the herd will turn on you. They will call you arrogant, dangerous, cold, good. That is the proof you have left the pen and stepped into the wild. Nietzsche had contempt for the herd's morality, the code designed to keep men tame, compliant, harmless. The weak don't fear evil men. They fear free men, men who do not bow to collective approval. Every time you bend yourself to fit their comfort, you trade away the sharp edge that could have cut you free. The storm is not the enemy. The storm is the test. When you stand in it without apology, you become a landmark. The fearful will hate you. The envious will try to pull you down. And the few who still have fire in their blood will see you and remember who they were meant to be. You want to stand unapologetic? Here's what it takes. 1. State your truth without cushioning it. Stop wrapping your convictions in soft words so no one feels threatened. 2. Demand respect, not approval. Approval makes you dependent on their mood. Respect makes you immune to it. 3. Let their envy be the soundtrack to your ascent. Every complaint they make about you is proof they wish they could do the same. Look at your life. Have you been softening your strength to avoid being too much? Do you say yes when you should say no, just to keep the peace? Do you dilute yourself so you can stay liked by people who don't even matter? The predator doesn't explain himself to the prey. He doesn't ask for permission to hunt. He acts, and the world adjusts. You have 2 options. Be feared for your strength or pitied for your compliance. When the storm comes, don't hide. Plant your feet. Raise your chin. Let them see the man who will not bend, because once they know you won't, they'll never forget it. The impatient man is a pawn. The patient man is a king in waiting. In the game of power, the crown does not go to the fastest. It goes to the one still standing when everyone else has collapsed. Nietzsche understood that most men are slaves to immediacy. They want victory now, validation now, gratification now, and because of that, they are easy to manipulate. Show them a quick win, and they will sell their future for it. The long game is where the real predators live. It's where kings are made, because while the herd burns itself out on short-term glory, the strategist is stacking moves that will matter years from now. Time is not your enemy. Time is the blade you hold against the neck of the world. Every day you resist the urge to grab crumbs, you're positioning yourself to take the feast. Here's how you make time your weapon. 1. See 10 moves ahead. Never act without knowing the chain reaction it will cause. 2. Let others burn out. The pretenders will sprint. Let them. You'll catch them when they're gasping for air. 3. Sacrifice now for leverage later. Don't trade the kingdom for a coin. Delay the reward until it's undeniable. Look at your own life. Have you sabotaged yourself by chasing quick dopamine instead of building lasting power? Do you quit too soon because the payoff feels too far away? Are you making moves for applause instead of position? The short game is for actors. The long game is for architects. The kings you admire didn't just win battles. They built empires while their rivals celebrated small victories. So hold the line. Let them laugh, let them doubt, let them think they've already beaten you. Because when the dust clears, the impatient will be gone, and you will still be standing, holding everything they were too weak to wait for. In the end, the question is not whether life will test you. It's whether you will emerge from the test unrecognizable to the person you once were. Nietzsche knew the final law. Power is not possession. It is creation. Too many chase power as if it were gold to hoard. But real power is the ability to shape reality. To take the chaos life throws at you and forge it into something so precise, so unshakable, it becomes a monument to your will. This is the stage most never reach. They climb halfway, then set up camp. They tell themselves they've made it, while the summit still towers above them. Why? Because the final stretch demands more than ambition. It demands the destruction of every comfort that holds you in place. The easy friends, the familiar routines, the victories that once felt like enough. Here, Nietzsche forces you to face a brutal truth. The greatest enemy of greatness is not failure, it is contentment. The overman is not satisfied with simply winning. He transforms himself into the kind of being who cannot be defeated, because his standard is not comparison to others, but to his own highest possible self. That is the final ascent. If you are here, listening to this, then you already know. You have outgrown the version of you that was willing to settle. You feel the pull, the call to build something so vast, so unbreakable, that even death will struggle to erase it. Your life, your work, your legacy must outlast you. And that will only happen if you become ruthless with your time, merciless with your focus, and unapologetic in your ambition. Because in the end, no one remembers the climbers who stopped halfway. If this has lit a fire in you, don't let it burn out. Write down the one thing you've been avoiding because it scares you, and start it today. Subscribe to the Inner Citadel Project, and comment the one truth you've been running from. The summit is waiting. The climb is yours.